The current republic is home to different races, creatures, and supernatural beings, but none are more important to the storyline than the first race. They are the beings created by the All-Father to protect reality and augment creation, but they failed their mandate and failed humankind as well. They reside on a higher level of perception than ours, but come down to interact with mankind from time to time. In this video, we'll be reviewing the top 10 strongest members of the first race, known as gods in the comic public universe. So without further ado, let's get into it. Mai Dawa. This is a member of the first race that features heavily in the Eru series of the comic republic. He is first seen in Eru issue 5, where he kills the members of the Ashabi Ashra that were trying to seal the idols of fear so he can kill it himself. He uses a bow and an arrow that are made of dangerous substance capable of killing gods and monsters, and I'm not exactly sure if he's another member of the first race, but two things we do know for sure about him: he is affiliated with the Scourge, and he desperately wants to kill all of the idols. Quetzcoatl. This is another god, the eternal serpent of the western land. He has the ability to control the wind. He has a distinct dragon-like appearance with a large sturdy tail and a serpent wrapped around him, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of feet, so we don't really know how his powers work. We do know that he's another member of the first race and is very loyal to Amaterasu. They are both members of the Overwatch until recently. He is this low on the list because he doesn't have a lot of feet and is also quite docile. Amaterasu. This is an elder member of the first race, a Japanese goddess, the lady of the sun, and an elder member of the first race. An elder god of the Eastern land, she is quite aggressive and has also displayed powers to open portals to anywhere and on any level of perception, using her powerful bright flames. She also doesn't have a lot of feats yet, but her title as an elder member of the first race is enough to get her to make the list. Elder members of the first race, in my opinion, possess enough power to defeat the Sentinel of Justice, the Guardian Prime. Amaterasu is also temperamental, and she left the Overwatch when she sees Gaya is still in contact with Zeus. Krishna. This is another god described as the avatar of the Central Lands. He doesn't have a lot of feats. If not, he'll be higher on this list. I'm sure Krishna is going to be busted. He uses a flute to play sounds that can control his targets, provided they are weaker than himself. He can even control other lesser members of the first race, as we see him control Ekpe and uses him to open portals for the Vanguard to go on their mission in the Vanguard Overwatch. He seems to be the calmest and most reasonable of the group, probably why he's still a member of the Overwatch together with Zeus. Oxossi. This is another member of the first race, one of Shango's worst rivals. He's a very weird person to scale because he has never really manifested himself without a host and in his full powers for some reason. Every display of his powers is not done with him in his true form. He's either walking through vessels like we see at Damole. I'm not exactly sure if it's him or the host he inhabits or the duo, but he has also been referred to be the visionary, a vital piece of the puzzle needed to keep the universe in balance, and even sought after by beings that transcend the first race, like the Inomale and even Asha herself. He has the ability to manifest powerful arrows that he can launch at enemies at intense speed that make dodging almost invisible. He manifests these arrows from his verve, a symbol of authority, and with the abilities of his familiar, Itosono, he never misses his target. His familiar is a being known as Ajija, the Purple Man. Thor. This is also a terrifying member of the first race. He's another god from the Norse mythology that faces off against Shango in a 1 versus 1 and held his own for quite a while in the Vanguard Overwatch series. He has the ability to control lightning by controlling and channeling it through his hammers and other weapons. Also, he has strength enough to match up to that of Shango. He uses his mighty hammer, Mignor, and his gloves, Jangripper, and his power belt, Medinjor. He's a big threat to anyone else he might be fighting, except those that can control lightning. His control over lightning is limited, and that has led to his loss in the battle against Shango, whom he fought in his domain. Amadioha. This is another member of the first race, and a god even among members of the Alice. He was in charge of the entire kingdom of gods on the 6th level of perception, with supremacy, left to him by Chukwu, the All-Father, or Eludimare as earlier called in this video. He abandoned his life as a god to live among mortals, and he built an average life for his family, and his only concern nowadays seemed to be to protect his daughter at all costs. That doesn't stop him from performing heroic acts once in a while, if the situation calls for it. His abilities include plasma manipulation and generation, energy manipulation and generation, martial or arcane acts of the DLC. His familiar is called Egede, which uses to generate and channel energy for battle. Raijin. This is a Japanese god of lightning, best known for his sword skills in the comic republic. He first appeared in the Vanguard Overwatch issue 5, where he came for the Jigiaye and the Guardian Prime engages him in battle, and ultimately loses. He had higher combat experience, control over lightning, and speed and strength. His mask was broken in the fight, but he didn't sustain any major injuries, and I think what makes him even more dangerous is the fact that he is highly rational and doesn't act brashly. He gives his respect to Shango after his battle with Thor, recognizing that he was in his domain and probably wouldn't win if he chose to fight head-on. Shango let him go and he went ahead to defeat Nutek and Blackbird, taking their mirror as well. In the most recent books, he is being attacked by 3 members of the first race in his domain. He is getting jumped by Thor, Amaterasu, and Quetzcoatl. I think he'll survive though. He's got a will of steel. Zeus. This is the leader of the Overwatch. He makes sure to direct the actions of the group and keeps the other members in line. He has the title Immortal Thunder God of the Northern Lands. He was responsible for finding and defeating Ekpe, Master of Ceremony. He defeats him in one swift attack, and the intensity of this attack was so great, he startled all other elder members of the first race who were there with him. And being an elder god in charge of an organization of gods, I believe he deserves to be this high on the list. Shango. This beast is often called Oba Koso, the king of Koso, referencing how he is found to constantly defeat death. And the same can be said for the version of himself in the Comic Republic. Shango is another member of the first race that represents rage and overwhelming aggression. He never backs down from a fight, and instead seeks out challenge constantly. I used to think he does this to protect his domain, but it seems to me it's more than that. He is the Yoruba god of fire and lightning. His mastery over his powers are legendary. His feats are also remarkable in the Comic Republic. He defeats and kills Oya in his very first appearance, then he battles with Risi and defeats him. He battles with Ojokshi and survives. He bullies the NACSS mates. He bullies the guards at Igale. He runs a gauntlet of 7 gods at the 7 peaks of Ifa in Igale. He seeks to challenge his brother Oloko in battle. He bullies the Guardian Prime. He challenges and defeats Thor. He has the longest winning streak in the entire Comic Republic. He almost seems unstoppable, but I don't think he can take down number 1 on this list though. His familiars include Ara, Ino, Iji, and Monamona. Gaya. This is the very first member of the first race we are introduced to, and she is said to be the personification of the earth. Not just a god, but a mother to it all. Zeus even referenced her as the shadow of his mother, but she immediately appears and corrects him, stating she is greater than that. She either has the fear or respect of the other gods she has encountered. She chooses the Guardian Primes as her champion and guides them in the ways to use their powers for the benefit of humanity. She also reserves the powers to reject any Guardian Prime that goes against her ways, as was the case with Guardian Aleph. We also learn from the later books that the Guardian Prime's powers come not from the supremacy, but the highest level of perception, the absolute, where the creators dwell. This leaves reason to believe that the mother of the earth, Gaia, also has access to this realm. There is a lot we don't know about Gaia, and if this is one of them, then she might just rank above every other god and every other member of the first race I've mentioned so far. Are there some other gods that deserve to be mentioned on this list? Of course there are. Gods like Olokun, Ogun, Hephaestus, Umbari are all candidates for the strongest, but they just don't have enough feats to rank them and move anyone else on this list. Gods in the Comic Republic are simply members of another race, more ancient than ours, created by Eludumare to defend creation, and they exist on different levels of perception. The full might of their ability cannot be manifested on the low levels though, so we might never really know how powerful they are. If you've enjoyed this video so far, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you've not done that already, I thank you for listening this long. I'll continue to cover more about the Comic Republic and other Comic Republic characters, so stay tuned for more.